In this video, I'm going to assess one of my students' letters. The student has written down the date on the top, that is good, and there's no spelling mistake. And then she has written on Mr. Scott and Mrs. Susan Murray, that's okay, for Pemberton Street and then Torah Hill, that's all right. Dear Mr. and Mrs. Murray, so that's the addressee's name, that's good. And we need to mention regarding Cat Murray, date of birth 10 July 2003. That's good. I'm writing in regards to, it's not in regard to, it's actually in regards to. It must be in regards to. In regard to is wrong. We have to use in regards to. Okay. That's one thing that's missing. In regards to your daughter, Kate, who requires extra attention and care, that's okay. But if you don't add additional information after this, you shouldn't place a comma here. So daughter Kate, comma who, remove the comma please. Let's go to the next one. And then since she has fractured her right lower leg while playing, okay, since, okay, all right, she has placed a full stop here and then she has used since something. Okay, so since something, okay, cannot be the full sentence. This is not the full sentence. You have read, she has written on only first part of the sentence, so that's not good. Otherwise what she could have done is she could have placed a comma here and then she could have written on this same thing. I mean that's fine. If you could have, okay, all right, let's go through this. Okay, uncare. All right, uncare, full stop. Replace the full stop with the comma. And then you don't need to remove this comma. You have to keep that comma. Okay. And the sentence is correct. The whole paragraph will become only one sentence. So that's fine. Kate was brought to the hospital by a social member with the swelling and pain in her right lower leg. That's good. Her X-ray revealed a fractured leg. Therefore, back slab and bandage were applied and Panadol 250 milligram was commenced for her pain. That's good. This sentence is really good, but she could have placed a comma here. Otherwise, she could have used and therefore. Okay, but apart from that, it's good, but still it's all right. And okay, upon discharge, crutches would be provided for the future use. Okay, upon discharge, there should be a comma after that, but she didn't place a comma. So upon discharge, she could have mentioned a comma here. Upon discharge, comma. Okay, she could have done that. All right. In regards to home care, Kate's affected leg, keep it elevated on a pillow to reduce swelling. This is wrong. The whole sentence structure is incorrect. Okay, in regards to home care, Kate's affected leg, keep it elevated. No, need request to be elevated on a pillow to reduce the swelling. So instead of writing, otherwise request to be kept elevated. Otherwise, what she could have done is, okay, in regards to home care, Kate's affected leg, keep it elevated on a pillow. Instead of writing keep it elevated on a pillow, requires to be elevated, requires to be, sorry, it's not elevated, but it must be requires to be elevated. All right, requires to be elevated. Okay, please watch for unusual symptoms such as swelling, tingling, burning sensation, numbness, inability to, I think, move toes, and any other disturbances, that's fine. If any of these symptoms occur, kindly elevate the limb for 20 minutes, and still if she is experiencing the same, you can contact the hospital immediately. Okay, and still, but if she's still, okay, and still, all right, this one is unstill. Okay, this can be, but if she is still, that's how she could have mentioned. So she should have written down, but this must be replaced with, but if she is still experiencing the same, then there should be a comma. The same, after the same, you should place a comma. That's another issue. You can contact the hospital immediately. Okay, that's fine. In terms of cast care, make sure that she doesn't scratch under the cast with the sharp objects. Okay, make sure that instead of writing make sure, it's going to be using please ensure. You need to use polite words, okay, because letter is going to be 100% formal. Please ensure she doesn't scratch. Okay, that's all right, under the cast. And okay, I think that's spelling mistake. Cast, isn't it? CAST is different, that's wrong. CAST needs to be replaced with CAST. All right, that's one issue. The sharp objects, it may lead to pressure ulcer. She should have mentioned as it may leads to, and then may doesn't need any verb plus s. Okay, it may leads to, okay, she must have mentioned as it may lead to. Okay, remember that all the auxiliary verbs, okay, like may, could, can, whatever you want to use, you need to use only the verb form after that, no verb plus s form. I mean, you can say she may come, she may go, he may come, he may go, and so on. Okay, if you use verb plus s, then it is wrong. All right, the two pressure ulcer, that's all right. Please avoid cuts, getting wet, heating, and also she is restricted to walk. Okay, please avoid cuts, getting wet, and heating, and also she is restricted to. Okay, so this one until now it's okay, like please avoid cuts, and you should have mentioned maybe in a separate sentence instead of writing and also. You should have started a new sentence. You should have mentioned also and then comma. That could have been done. Also, she is restricted to walk the cast for next 4 months. Okay, whenever we need to write down a duration, we have to use the. For next 4 months, you should use for the next 4 months. For all the durations, like for the last 6 years, and so on, you have to use only the you have to use an article with that. Okay, it's the smaller. All right, let's go through the next one. All right, that's done. Let's go to the next page. Kate's full recovery will take 6 to 10 weeks. However, she might have some weakness in her limb. That's good. She requires another 1 month for the bone healing, and she may need physiotherapy to improve her muscle strength and joint mobility and balance. Muscle strength, joint mobility and balance. You don't need to use and again and again. You need to mention only before the last thing, okay, last item. The other thing is she may need, okay, need is not a formal verb. It needs to be replaced with require. So she may need. She may need. She may require. That needs to be done. And then the next one is muscle strength and joint mobility and balance. Muscle strength, and joint mobility. So instead of writing muscle strength, comma, joint mobility, that could have been much better. All right, the next one is, okay, she can do swimming, but please avoid skateboarding, horse riding, and running. Okay, that's not good. Okay, all right. So those things need to be avoided. Okay, so all right, that's good. So she can do, instead of writing she can do, you can use she can involve in. It's better to use other words rather than do. Do is a more informal word, so it's not good. And apart from that, muscle strength. Okay, that's all right. It would be greatly appreciated if you could bring her for the appointment on 3 September 2010 at 1:30 p.m. That's okay. In Brisbane Children's Hospital Fracture Clinic. That's okay. Should you have any questions regarding Kate, that's all right, but you should have placed a comma after that. Please do not hesitate to contact me. Okay. Yours sincerely, the registered nurse. All right, good. So after Kate, you should have placed a comma. All right, let me go through the assessment. Grammar could have been better because she has committed many mistakes. Use of nouns, verbs, okay, words, nouns, verbs could have been better. Vocabulary needs to be improved as she used many informal words and synonyms. Okay, she could have used maybe more words, okay, more formal words. That's the one. Use of articles could have been improved. If you would like to improve your knowledge on the use of articles, you can watch the video that I have uploaded recently. And apart from that, it should be, spelling is missing one of them, in one of the words. Spelling is all right, but one word was misspelled. Okay, that's not good. Organization of case notes is good enough. I'm happy with that. And then connectivity is fair enough because she is able to use lots of connecting phrases. That's all right. But overuse of the phrase and could have been avoided. You have used and unnecessarily in several occasions that could have been avoided. Use of punctuation marks could have been improved as well. Could have been improved as well. Overall task fulfillment is okay. It's not that bad. Okay, let me tell you the expected score. Okay, looking at the mistakes and the severity of them, along with their implications on the assessment factor, I believe that this may be really close to C+, but it cannot get C+, because of the several grammatical mistakes, especially the incomplete sentences that she has written down. So due to which I'm glad to provide only 270 out of 500 only. This means C grade. All right.